affordable cars are plain and boring and expensive vehicles are really exciting. Well, it doesn't have to be that case always. Opel said and brings the new Mokka generation, both available as Opel and Vauxhall, and it's available as the internal combustion engine and also as the new Mokka-e, the all-electric version. You already can see it from design that this is a car that wants to be unique. What about this philosophy and all the details, exterior, interior and the different technologies? Tune in here to our special Autogefühl episode with the all-new Mokka in Full HD, full screen and full length. Let's go. In the front of the new Opel Mokka, you can see this new face, which will be the new face of the whole brand, both for Opel and for Vauxhall. It is called visor because, like a visor, it basically forms this shield that goes from left to right or from right to left. Very interesting, and it looks really modern in this color combination, a little bit like a stormtrooper, doesn't it? And this is also topped with a black package, so you see the new Opel logo that has been updated also from design is here in black. Standard would be just a bright one. And headlamps come standard with LED, optional the LED matrix lamps called IntelliLux here at Opel, so for more sophisticated high beam function. And another design element is the Opel compass, which is formed by the headlamps going like horizontal and then vertical line here from this accentuation on the hood down right here, like a compass. So that's a new design philosophy, and we will also find it with newer Opel models. This being the sporty GS-Line, by the way, but we also have different trim, different color for you today as a first overview. The length is at 4 meters 15, 13 foot 6 or 163 inches, means 12.5 centimeters or 5 inches shorter than the predecessor. And that hardly happens on the car market, that the new generation gets actually shorter. Well, there could also be a reason that this car can also replace the Opel Adam somewhat, which is not available anymore. And so far, Adam customers might also be interested in this one because it has a, rather bold design, but still a very short exterior length. And that's what I meant initially. This is a car that is relatively affordable and pretty short, but still, it gives you something special already from design. And this is also the GS-Line, the sporty line, which comes with the red contrast here all over the place, which was introduced with the Opel Adam, this form right here. Today also with the white color, there will be different colors available. Interesting element is also that this part here still belongs to the actual door, and it's basically stanced in there, the other part that these fit in between. So very interesting also from, the factory work they put behind that. 16-inch is standard, and these are the optional 18-inch wheels. You see with a special design that is suggesting that tires and wheels are somehow connected. This was taken from the concept vehicle, which really literally had that. Of course, it wasn't really street legal, so they adapted this design-wise, and again with the GS-Line with the red contrasts right there. If you want to know more about the design history of this vehicle, there's a design feature we did with the Opel designers, and there's a separate video on that. You can also follow it later on if you're interested. So, rather simple design right here, round shapes around, the door handles right there, not like a very, very strong design line here. So we do have a lot of round forms, but definitely if you compare it to the French, mother company, PSA Group, which Opel belongs to right now, they have a rather stronger and more German design indeed, and that's also what they want to do with this vehicle. And indeed, you can see here in the rear that the tail lamps, once again, just like the front daytime running light, they give, this rather angular touch to the whole design of the vehicle. New also that we find is big lettering here. This was taken from very old Opel models, like the huge cars they used to sell, like in the 70s, for example. So also nice to see some quotations of the past right here. Then contrast in black in the lower part. Here, real exhaust tips then for the internal combustion engine version, and the third braking light here in the lower part. There's also an interesting touch to that. The trunk will be opened right there, by the way, below everything here. And so the rear is actually also one thing that looks rather strong with this vehicle. But the question is, of course, what do you think about this design that really very much resembles the original concept vehicle? And to show you a different design, this is the ultimate trim. You can see also differences here in the lower grille then. And this is, of course, obviously also a different color here with the green. But you can also get this contrasting hood and the contrasting roof in black. Here also the classic Opel logo in the bright style, so not without the black package. So we have some differentiations and you can just pick which one you like better. This one here being the electric version, but it's not connected to the trim or the color. You can go with any version in any trim, so it doesn't really matter. The electric version could also be the one in white, red, so it's just your choice. And the 3/4 rear perspective here, again with the different color. You can once again see that it's a rather simple and clean design also at the rear. The electric version, how do you differentiate it from the exterior? It's just that there's no exhaust pipe here, obviously, and also again a very symmetrical and clean design in the lower area. You just have the E logo right here and another E logo at the side there, just at the B pillar, and that's basically it. So not really that distinguishable, but this was also the strategy, letting it run from this in the same plan, from the same assembly line. You can freely pick as a customer, and also just the visual appearance is basically the same E version and ICE version. As for the combustion engines, you either get a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine with 100 or 130 horsepower. The latter one also optionally with automatic gearbox, and around 9 seconds is the acceleration figure to 1 km an hour. Or you get a diesel engine, 1.5 liter 4-cylinder diesel engine with 110 horsepower. And the electric version gets 136 horsepower, and indeed, because we have the immediate torque, it is the quickest one with exactly 9 seconds. The strongest petrol one would be 9.1 seconds in the acceleration figure. And, due to the lower center of gravity and so on, probably will even deliver the best driving fun. That's, for example, what we also found with the Peugeot 2008 versus the Peugeot E2008. However, one catch there is, but that's totally a German thing. The maximum speed here is 150 kilometers for the electric version, whereas the strongest petrol engine could go 200 kilometers an hour. Yeah, that's this German Autobahn thing, And this 50 kilowatt hour battery for the electric version, 320 kilometers or 200 miles is the promised range. And here charging either 11 kilowatt AC standard also, or then here 100 kilowatt DC. Check out the interior, keyless entry, put your hand on the outside to close it, on the inside of the handle to open it, door closing sound. That's solid, nice door closing sound indeed. Then here inside of the doors we have a soft leather red here, animal free, and then the top part here is hard pack, but it has a nice touch to it and a nice structure, so it still looks sophisticated somehow. Here the high gloss black surfaces. That's a matter of preference, I would take it that way. Reasonable door pockets on the inside, and then this is a new exciting interior indeed with this new Opel Pure panel. Soon more details to that. Here in the GS line we also have the red accentuations right here. Steering wheel on the left side You set the cruise control. Adaptive cruise control is an option. Autonomous emergency brake would be standard safety equipment. On the right side, you can, for example, also mute or check the, control the volume and so on, pick up the phone. And then there are different seats available. A base seat would be pure fabric. And then, for example, here for the GS-Line, there is then a mix of fabric with red accentuations, and different fabrics are being used, contour stitches, and also, again, animal-free leatherette on the outside. And there's, for example, also a microfiber or Alcantara seat available. So different mixes, and most of them really are completely animal-free. And that was also an intentional decision by Opel to be more sustainable and animal-friendly. And I can only applaud that. So really good choices. And they really feel very good. Also, you have here enough side support, but it gives you a very comfortable feeling. You have seen maybe here, there's a high entry sill, That's something that is, let's say, could be a little bit more relaxing when getting in and out. So here, you see also it will, get some dirt right here, but that's maybe the only thing. But the seat itself here is really good. I mean, this is a very tiny vehicle, but considering it's a tiny vehicle, the seating comfort here is really excellent. Of course, we have to confirm that over a longer period of time, during the test ride later on and so on. But so far, first impression, really good. And this also serves as a difference to the normal small, low cars. Here, you don't have so much more exterior length, but you just have a more upright seating position. With 1.86 or 6'1", you still have enough headroom. So that's also no problem for tall people. So indeed, it could be a small vehicle, which also fits for taller persons. So here, steering wheel, manual control, up and down and in and out. And I would say, let's take a look at the real cockpit perspective, because that's where the special things happen here, what the designers thought about that. This is the new interior here from this perspective, and it's really impressive at first sight. This is all high gloss. Of course, this is prone to scratches and fingerprints and so on, but clean. It looks very nice. This is also somewhat softened up, the top area here, but the visual impression is really, for this segment, quite impressive. It would start with 7-inch screens left and right from base, and then optional this setup, or in the ultimate trim, 12-inch on the left and 10-inch on the right. And this is what Opel calls the pure panel, so this whole panel, and then with the 2 screens. And this will also be the case for future Opel models. However, the key thing here is, although so much is digitalized, a lot of the functions are still here with knobs like a volume knob here, or hotkeys for accessing the GPS and so on. Or below that, interesting here, a big middle vent, and then still here a manual climate unit. And this is, to me, really, really cool. I love that. So you still can control everything very, very well while driving. To me, that would be absolutely central, and there's also a difference to the platform brother of the Peugeot 2008. So straightforward in design, although there is more digitalization. Further down below, we have a 12-volt power supply and a USB-A supply for your smartphone. There's also enough space here in the lower part, also an inductive charging pad underneath, really also working for big smartphones. And the cable connection then for the Apple Carplay or Android Auto. Then we can activate or deactivate assistance systems here in the lower part. We have a drive mode selector. We can put in eco, normal or sport mode. So in the combustion engine models, the gears will be turned up higher, and in the electric models, you get more punch. This is a modern, very small drive selector. Put backwards for the drive mode, forward and for reverse. Why not? It's a little bit hidden in there, have to get used to that. And then further here, there's a cup holder, but not adaptive. And there's then also like this armrest with some, small cubby hole inside. Infotainment system, as I told you earlier, you have some hotkeys, for example, here also for the GPS. The GPS, it basically does the job, but it is not that responsive. And also when you put in the address, a little bit complicated. So it's either in here for the hotkey for the Apple CarPlay, and the integration looks like this. And actually also, when you play some music, it really sounds very nice. So let's turn it up a little bit. And for a small vehicle, has actually a quite rich sound. So yeah, can't complain about that, definitely. And yeah, most of the time, I guess you will use the Apple CarPlay. You also have the temperature indicators here in the top part. So when you turn it in the lower area, then you also see the feedback up here. That's very good. Also less distracting while driving once again. And you can, for example, also here turn off or on some safety systems. So more or less straightforward. We have seen better software in the infotainment systems, but again, when you have the Apple CarPlay, for example, in the top, and you have still the manual AC unit, you will also don't have so much problems to control it. Here the digital instruments, also very clear to read. This is the integration of the map, but you can also have some different perspectives like this, for example. Minimum would be rather with the speed as the focus, or like this with the RPMs, dials like this, or driving, so you can pick which one you actually prefer. Now to the rear compartment. Now it gets really exciting. First of all, the inside of the doors here. Yes, again, it's hardback, but they really found a nice, finish to it. So why not? We have to see how it looks like in the final vehicle, because this is also one of the early prototype stage vehicles. Then you can see there won't be too much space, because after all, it's 4 meters and 15 the length of the vehicle. Still, I'm going to take a seat, and also these red contour stitches for the rear seats as well, and here then with some black leatherette. So let's see, when I have the seat as I would be driving, it gets close. You see here there's this recess at the back part of the seat, and it would fit even better when the front seat would be a little bit higher, and then my knees would directly fit in there. Clearly it's not set out to carry 4 tall adults. It works somewhat again when the seat would be just one step, pumped up your headroom wise here. That works, so there's still some space above my head. That works, and the seating position here in general, when it fits with the legs, it's also quite comfortable. Isofix at the outside seats each, and this fabric here has a good durable impression, and it's also very breathable. So it has this rough surface, and that also makes it more breathable in hot summer times. Then you have 2 normal USB-A chargers here in the rear. Build quality wise, this is here rather basic, but then you have to think about that this car indeed has, also comparing to the competitors, a rather low price, and at some point, this also comes at a cost, or, well, not at a cost, so to speak. And here, different interior. Once again, you can get it as the electric version or also as a combustion engine version. This is the ultimate trim, the highest trim. And here there's Alcantara or microfiber at the inside of the door. This, gives a very good premium atmosphere. And the same also accounts for the seats. Then in the inside with the microfiber here, really cool look. And the outside, once again, is animal-free leatherette. So once again, a good choice. It looks really premium. So the seats, actually one of the best things about this vehicle. The fabric on the inside will be a little bit cooler even in summer than the microfiber. The microfiber, however, looks cooler. Yeah, definitely matter of preference, but you can't go wrong with either of that. Also, you can see the different color scheme here. The GS-Line had more the red contrast, and here some bright contrasts here, for example, with silver on the seats, but also here you can see it at the dashboard, just to give you a different impression. Now to the trunk capacity, 350 liters of the capacity here in the boot, both for the electric version and for the combustion engine version. See it right here, there's an additional cover right here. This is a combustion engine version, and then below that there's even more space. Even a replacement tire could fit in there. The electric version only loses a little bit when you fold the seats, but just, minor. Then here, normal length is 63 centimeters. Of course, it's a very short vehicle, and this is almost 1 meter in width, and you can fold the seats right here when you just reach over, because the trunk is obviously that short. Here we go, and this would be the maximum setup then here, and the total length is a little bit less than 1 meter 40. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new Mokka. A very interesting approach. First of all, of course, from design. Hardly ever we see that the original concept vehicle is being taken over to the real production vehicle. And indeed, it looks really unique. There's hardly any other vehicle that has this design here on the market, and definitely not in this segment. So it is a really small vehicle, but you can drive a small vehicle and still have something very, very special as for design. It maybe will be splitting everything in love and hate, but for example, it doesn't have like this typical beauty car with like long hood and sporty and so, but I mean, it's a very tiny SUV, and I think for that, it really looks very unique, and I would really, enjoy driving something that is so much different than anything else. So, especially here in this GS line with the red contrast and the white body color, it's probably also one of the most attractive choices. Also interesting that we see a whole new Opel design language. And again, this car will somewhat be a design reset for the whole Opel and also Vauxhall brand. We will see this very design, especially with the front, also with other SUVs in their brand, and also even with the normal typical models. Interior design is also really strong, especially with the bigger screen setup right there. The software of the infotainment system, there you see that they just took the one from the PSA mother company, and I'm not too happy about that. Most of the time I would just use the Apple Carplay, but the rest of the software is not super bad, but it's also not good at all. Really good are the seats. They are animal friendly, they are more sustainable. That's also a scheme they want to put through the whole vehicle there. You can get one optional animal skin setup, however that's just optional. All the other trims come as standard with very attractive options, which are all breathable in summertime and warm in winter. And they really have also a very premium touch to it. So seats also one of the highlights with this vehicle, and they're also indeed very comfortable. And that's also a thing. It's a very tiny vehicle, but it's very comfortable on the inside. In the rear, you don't have too much space actually, and also the trunk is rather short, but again, it's also a very short vehicle overall. And again, the special approach to offer the electric version and the combustion engine version at the very same time from startup, so you can just pick. And for example, in Germany, about 1/3 of the private sales are already electric version of the Corsa. So electric vehicle sales are rising, and that's why it might also be a clever solution to start with the electric vehicle, just again from the start of sales here from this all-new model. Would you go for the electric version, or would you go still here for the internal combustion engine? To me, it always matters if you have the charging infrastructure. If you do have the charging infrastructure, the electric version is surely the way to go. As for pricing, this is also a very interesting point. Taking German reference prices, the small petrol engine and also with the base trim will start at about 20,000 euros, and that's very attractive pricing indeed. And the electric version about 32,000 euros. If you then get some like subsidies or so and tax benefits, this can be somewhat even out, this extra price for the electric version. And the maximum price for the electric version plus highest trim would be 40k. So no matter which version you pick, it will be between 20 and 40k euros if you pick the German pricing. And for what you get, I think that's actually a quite good bargain. So what do you think about this new Mokka here? Tell us your feedback, join the comment section, join the discussion. I think there's a lot to discuss, definitely. Join us there, and let's see you all next time.